Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So we're down to our final race in Class B, at least for now, with the upcoming race, event number 10 at DOHA. And the reason why I say that for now is because I want to point something out to you. If we go under standings, of course, right now it is showing us in the Class B, and you can see our prize fund, 125 million. If I swap over to Class A, okay, you can see that it's nearly double. So you can expect the payouts in Class A to essentially double. Not quite, but very close to it. But what I want you to take particular close look at is the team standings. Okay, look who's at the bottom. Remember, the team that is at the bottom will move down next season. So yes, this is why I was in no hurry at all to move up to Class A. I wanted to take our time and try to build as much as we could, because I knew if we rushed our way into Class A and got there as soon as we possibly could, then there was a good chance that we would spend exactly one season up there before we would move back down to Class B. And while that has some advantages, such as the prize money you will get, I really wanted to take a longer term approach and do this in a way that I felt would be more fun, at least for me. You guys can tell me if maybe you don't agree with that. But so it would appear as though the team that won the championship last year in Class A, or excuse me, in Class B, is now going to end up back in Class B. And so we're just going to swap places with them. And that's kind of how it's gone ever since we started this playthrough. So it's not exactly a wonderful thing to get sent up to Class A. It is going to be a huge struggle for us next season. And one of the things that I want to try to do in this offseason is get at least one, if not two more drivers that are much better. Now, that's going to be very difficult to do, and we'll talk about that more a little bit later. And it's not because of money this time, but this is why I am still very nervous about going up to Class A, because I would prefer not to have to turn around and come right back down to Class B the next season. But that's kind of the way the championship is set up. It's so hard to get your footing in Class A, and by the time you start to make some headway, it's already the end of the season. You finish last, and now you're back down to Class B. So it's very, very difficult to do. But we already know going into this last race, the team championship is already sewn up. And for all intents and purposes, the driver championship is as well. Although we are still working to try to get car number 2 into second place and keep second place in the championship. So no more working on parts. And let's go ahead and start out with our emails. And of course, Tang is letting me know that he's still listening to other offers. I just need him to hold on and for a little while longer if he can, because obviously he's not going to be a part of our long-term plans, but we do need him to hold in there if at all possible for a little while longer. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit more in our next video when we get into the off season, but for now we just need him to hold on. All right, so we got another example. This time Piccolo's agent has been telling reporters that we're interested, and I have no idea who that is. Let's see. And no, we will not be trying to sign her, I wouldn't think, for next season. But we'll take the personality trait nonetheless. And now we'll come over to our pit crew, and we'll start off by seeing if there's anybody we want to hire. Boy, they're tempting me with this 0.3 because this is huge. The bad thing is we really only need 2 of these to be really good. I tell you what, I'm going to reject that one in large part because of the stamina, the mistake chance, but those are some very good numbers there, no doubt. All right, here, I like this a lot better because we're perfect on tires, and both the refueling and the fixing were really good, and I'll just have to start living with some of this mistake chance. Okay, so let's see who we want to get rid of. And there we go. Couldn't get it to highlight. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead. Anybody else that we wanted to sign out of this bunch? Wow, these are both pretty good. Hard to argue with either one of these, frankly. And let's go ahead and hire. Okay, so we got this person here just for the jacks. We'll go ahead and replace. Okay, so let's go ahead and swap out our pit crew for this final race. And we'll get everybody where we need them to be. We'll start out doing some swaps there. Let's see who is at full strength. We're going to be putting them as the rear jack. 16 and 13. There we go. Swap those out. All right, who else is at full strength that we can even consider moving? All right. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, we're definitely liking this. And let's see. So we're going to go there. And let's see, who else? We've got 20 and 15. Wow. That is, or 20 and 16. Man, that is huge. We've got some very nice ones. Yeah, this is looking really good. I mean, when you've got 14 and 18 and something like that, and they're sitting on the bench here, I mean, that is big time. All right, let's see. Do I want to put... Yeah, this is going to be really good. We're going to have a really good pit crew moving forward. All right, let's go ahead and for now... Yeah, I mean, this is just hard to... Let's go ahead and swap these guys out. I mean, this is swapping out really good for great at this point is kind of how this is working. All right, what do we have on the jack? Okay, the front jack. And we could go... Let's see, what do we have on the rear jack? Okay, we got a 12 there right now. Okay, so let's go... Let's go 15 and 13. So let's swap, maybe, if I can get it to scroll up. Yeah. Okay, there's 13. There we go. So now we got 15 and 13 there. And let's just not even worry about it too much more. This is... I love seeing all of this green up there. That is awesome. Okay, car repair completed. Of course, that doesn't really matter a whole lot to us right now. All right, so one other thing that I do want to do, you can see here we are, the very end of the season. We've got 9 million left. All right, and I wanted to point something out. We have enough money to do some upgrades. So let's head over to the HQ. And now, unfortunately, we don't have near enough money to be doing another factory upgrade, which is what I would really prefer to do and unlock those final 2 slots. And of course, we don't have enough to do the design center either, but we do have enough to look at perhaps the simulator or do a final upgrade on the scouting facility. So we've got some things to think about. And then if we go new buildings, we could go something like the staff center, which I'm not terribly interested in. We could do the wind tunnel. We don't quite have enough for the test track because of the amount of money we're going to spend on this final race. But I think what I want to do is, let's do this wind tunnel, and that's going to give us the nose. We can work on that front wing and make it better. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and there you can see under construction. We're really starting to fill out the area here, and then once we get it filled out, of course, we're going to have some new things we're going to start doing with upgrades. And get, instead of just having a level 1, we'll try to start working our way into level 2s and then 3s. Oh, merchandising opportunity. What do we have? All right, so a drinks company have a new idea, and they would like to create a hilarious little plastic figurine of Hannah. And okay, so they would like to do that. It's not the most ethical money we've ever made. Actually, I call that marketing. I don't see what the big deal is with that. I mean, we've seen much worse than that as far as merchandising deals. Actually, I'm going to take this. I don't think this is unethical money at all. Again, I think it's marketing. And it can be quite hilarious, too. So I'm not worried about the chairman happiness or the morale or anything. I'm not concerned with that. Looks like we've got some sponsorship. Let's see, where are we? Yes. I knew we had had some recent events that had made us a little bit more marketable on a couple of our drivers. So that puts us in sponsor appeal level number 4. And we do have one slot to fill, so we'll give that a little time to fill up. There we go. I heard a couple more of the sponsorship offers fill in. All right, I also saw some other, what should be interesting emails popping up. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, there we go. We've got Tang, increase on his marketability. Our championship update, of course, we're right on target for that. We're not going to worry about this. Drift champion, there we go. Cornering has increased as well as marketability. We'll take all the marketability we can get. All right, our design center is looking good, but it's definitely not the best. I agree. And now we got some contracts running down. Our lead designer and one of our race mechanics. So let's go ahead and deal with that as we are now into December. We don't want to wait any longer on this stuff. Usually we get to do this in the off season, but the timing right now of the last race is going to have us looking at it now. All right, so let's see. We're right now paying $262,000, and I really don't have any reason to look for someone else at this point. I am very happy with where we are. Okay, so wages aren't very important. I'm going to try to keep it basically the same. All right, extend. Unfortunately, it's only a couple more years, and bonus size isn't very important. Good, because we're not going to be offering that. Okay, and then we got 1 month remaining here, and we definitely want to extend there because that refueling bonus is huge. All right, let's go ahead and try to renew here as well. Start those negotiations. So we're at $59,000. Okay, we'll try to keep it right there. She prefers long-term contract, and once again, bonuses are not important to her, so we're going to see if we can keep her on board for the same amount. All right, let's go back to our email. So those are the only two we've got right now. I could have sworn we had drivers, but maybe it's not going to tell us those until after the race. But as far as drivers go, so we got Hannah, still another year. Still another year on Sophia. And same thing on Lee. Petra, another couple of years, which is really good. And then so with Mike, we have an expiring contract, and Tang, of course, we already know, has an expiring contract. Let's deal with Mike right now. Okay, so we've got $31,000 essentially because of what we're doing here. So he is very cheap. Let's try to renew his contract. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about this in hopefully we'll get to it in our next video. But for now, I'm just going to try to, we're going to say equal car, and wages aren't very important. Okay, so 69,000. Okay, we'll go there. He's got plenty of patience, so we don't have to worry about being too overly aggressive. We've got him for 31,000 right now. Let's see, where is that on the list? Okay, so that's fairly far down. We'll go 41,000. It's not really going to make any difference whatsoever. This number is so small. All right, bonus size is not very important. Okay, we'll just keep it at this. There we go. And then Tang, I'm not even sure he's going to be interested in renewing. Okay, not interested. Okay, and that's what I figured was going to happen. So we're not terribly worried about that. But it might put a little bit of a cramp in our plans, depending on how many drivers that we have available to sign. But again, we're going to get to that hopefully in our next video. All right, let's take a look at these offers. And come on, game. We work hard to get to level 4, and now you throw these at me. I mean, 2-star and 1-star. Come on, you got to be better than that. I hate it when it does this to me. At least give me 1 4-star. All right, so first place across the board. So this is going to be a very easy decision. We'll take the 1.25 million. Of course, we'll want to do that. And oh wait, how did we get back down to 3-star? Okay, so somebody's temporary bonus must have just gone away. Again, still it didn't give us anything above a 2-star. So another thing I wish was different about the game. All right, but of course they got mods that I believe can really help out with that. Okay, so let's see where we are. We got 17 more weeks on our wind tunnel. Let's go ahead and get ready for our race. So at this point, I mean, this is pretty easy. We'll take the second. We're still going to lose quite a bit of money, but that's okay because we've got quite a bit of money there for just such an occasion. All right, so we're going to auto-select, and it's actually not too far off from where I was planning to be. Okay, so we'll go 5s across the board. Part fitting, we already know there's nothing to do there. Let's head to the track. All right, practice and qualifying are now done. So qualifying went great. We're starting 1-2 in the field. Let's take a look at our knowledge bonuses. So we've got race trim bonuses of level 3. Unfortunately, we had too many changing weather patterns in practice for me to get full bonuses on the tire. So we only have a level 2 bonus for the tire on car 2, and of course our refueling bonus for car 1. So let's take a look real quick at how we're going to line up. And realistically, the medium tire would be the faster tire, but we've got the bonus on the hard tire. And essentially, I'm just trying to play this safe, and we're going to see how long this stint goes. I may swap over to the medium tires on car 1, but because of the bonus, I'm likely to stay with the hard tire on car 2. But again, we're not going to worry a whole lot about this. As much as I want to go 1-2 in the driver championship, let's face it, there's no more money on the line or anything like that, so it is not a huge deal. We're going to simply manage this and try to get a 1-2 finish as best we can. All right, we're going to go full attack mode for both drivers and try to keep our way up toward the front of the field if at all possible at the start. We're going to start off with medium engine modes, and just like last time, we're going to see how long that gets us. And if it doesn't get us as far as we need for our 3-stop strategy, we'll simply go down into the blue mode, starting with stint number 2, or maybe a little earlier if we see it soon enough. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and get this race started. So we didn't have a good race at all in our first trip to this event last season. It was an abysmal race for us. So we're going to be looking to make amends. And let's see, I see some soft tires behind us. And so that immediately tells me a little bit about their strategy. So if they get by us, I'm definitely not going to be worried about that, because they're in a very different world than us strategy-wise. All right, so here we go. All right, keeping an eye out for the tire temps. All right, so far so good on the start. All right, let's go ahead and back off, because those tire temps are rising quickly, and we'll see how quickly that those tire temps settle down to a good number. Then maybe we can continue to push hard But yeah, so far I am very happy with the way this race has started. We'll just see where it goes from here. Tire temps coming back down. A little bit quicker on car 1 than 2. Alright, so yeah. Wow, this is, car 1 is just got a nice 4-second lead here at the beginning. And let's go ahead and push a little bit more with them. We're going to try to get out to whatever lead we can. One of the benefits of being in clean air, because of course the Class A cars are so much faster than our B cars that we have plenty of clean air right now for car 1, even though we're in 13th position. Alright, let's go ahead and push with car 2. And look at that pace. We've definitely got some pace here. Even the soft tires couldn't keep up, and they've had to really back off. Okay, let's back off with that. Let's see where we are on weather. We did have some rain, as I mentioned earlier, during practice, so there is a possibility that we could get that here in the race, but with the way things are going right now, I'm hoping not. Because we are showing some very nice pace here at the beginning. Alright, so we're 22 minutes into the stint. And actually, at this point, with the speed we're showing, let's just go ahead and move this thing down to low. And let's just make sure we give ourselves a little bit of a margin for error. Again, tire wear should not be an issue for us, so there's no reason for us not to really do this and just build in a little bit of a margin for error for the future stints. Okay, we'll go ahead and, so we're pushing right now, just trying to build as much lead as we can. Because if we can completely dominate this race, I am all for it. Especially after our what happened in our last trip here. Alright, yep, I'm liking this 15-second lead. Alright, so we're coming down to about 7 laps remaining of fuel. So that's going to push us close to the 45 minutes. I think we're going to make it, but again, it's going to be right on within a couple of minutes of being able to make that. And the bad thing about that is a couple of minutes is just a lap. So it's not as if you can say that's a comfortable margin. That's the difference of about a lap, because laps here take about a minute and a half in qualifying. Let's see what kind of race pace we're running. Okay, so we're up into the 40s right now. So yeah, a couple of minutes is the difference of about a lap is all that is. You can see we've moved up several spots. That's because the A-Class cars are now starting their pit cycle. But it is always nice to see that you're up to 6, though. Alright, so we're up to 44 minutes. Let's go ahead and get our first pit stop done. Put Sophia in the car. More hard tires. Okay. There we go. Now we'll focus on Petra. Alright, again, we just need a nice clean pit stop. Nothing extraordinary. Okay, let's set up our second pit stop with Mike. And you can see there, we got the level 2 or 10% bonus increase. So we'll stick with these tires. Doesn't appear so far to be an issue with speed. At least not with Petra on board anyway. Okay, now we'll swap back over to car 1. Alright, there we go. So once again, I will not be pushing very much with car number 2 for stamina reasons. And we're going to leave the fuel down in the blue because there's really no reason not to. At this point, nobody else shows any sort of threat to us on speed. And of course, we see the soft tires in there. So yeah, we're looking in great shape right now. And I'm going to continue to push with car number 1 and just try to get the speed I can out of the car. But again, car number 2 is not going to be quite so fortunate. The value of having quite a bit of stamina in your drivers. Okay, let's go ahead and push a little bit, keep some tire temp. All right, so we now have a 35-second lead. All right, and I don't think I could be happier right now than what I am with the way this race is going. I mean, this is what you hope for. Again, after our performance here last season, the fact that we are doing this right now is pretty great. And if we can continue this, this will be a very nice send-off to the A class for us. Okay, try to get a little bit more tire heat in car 2 just to try to keep it there. We don't run it there for very long, maybe a lap or so. All right, this is the kind of race I'm just content to sit back and just watch these guys go. When it's going this well, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, let's go back to pushing a little bit on car 2. Okay, so we're now at the 31-minute mark on car 2. Just trying to keep a watch out for the stamina issues. We're at 34 now, about 35 minutes in for car 1. So yeah, running in the blue on the engine mode, even though we're one of the few that's doing that, really isn't mattering. I mean, we still have the speed we need to do a really good job. You notice that car 2 is losing some of its lead over third place, but again, those guys are on a different pit strategy. Now we've finally got another car that appears to be very close to us on pit strategy and may be identical to us, but you can see the lead we have over them. So 4 stops appear to be the predominant call here, as it has been for most of the season in these cars. All right, so we've got stamina issues that are coming into play on car 2, but again, that's perfectly fine because at this point, you know, we are essentially cruising. All right, let's go ahead and set up our pit stops. We're going to come in this time by. We're going to put Lee in the car. Tire choice will once again be the hard tire. And fill it up. Okay, and that way, next time by, we can come in for car number 2. Same thing. Put those hard tires on there. All right, pit stop looks good. No mistakes on car 1, so we're off and away. I noticed that stop was a little over 41 seconds. I didn't catch exactly how long it was. We'll see how that compares to car 2. Okay, so about 3 seconds or so difference in, and that's going to be that bonus for the most part on the refueling. So about 3 seconds there. And that's the same as picking up 3 seconds on the racetrack under speed. Okay. Again, we're going to push a little bit here with car 2, but not a whole lot. and admittedly, we don't need to. I'm just doing it now because it makes things more fun. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting here watching. So it gives me a little bit of something to do. Okay, let's back off now. And then, of course, we know for car 2, we are going to have Petra back in the car for the final stint, so that takes care of any worries we might have about longevity. So as long as we can get the fuel to last, then we are in great shape there. Okay, let's back off with car 1. All right, let's just sort of look and see where we are. Again, we have fairly fresh tires. These guys are in much worse shape than us, so it's kind of amazing to me how much faster overall we are than these guys, even though we're making one fewer stop. And of course that means we're having to save fuel and some driver stamina. I expected them to be a little bit closer to us on speed. In fact, I actually thought they might be a little faster than us on speed, because while I haven't shown it on camera, every once in a while I'll go and look at the different teams, our competitors, and see what kind of drivers they have. And yeah, they've got some real good drivers out there. Much better than what we have. I mean, there's a reason why we show as last on the grid in drivers. Okay, let's go back to pushing a little bit on car 1. Okay, we'll go back to neutral on car 2. Okay, again, they keep getting third place keeps getting a little bit closer to us in second, but by the time they get there, their tires are basically shot and they're ready to come in for a pit stop. While at this point, I mean, we're still several laps to go in our stint. Okay, so your benchmark here would be 45 minutes remaining in the race to make that final stop. And again, right now we are in great shape. Okay, engine's got spare fuel, Lee says to us. Yes, it does have some spare fuel, but we are not overly concerned about that. Now we get the same message from car 2. Okay, let's go back to pushing a little bit. All right, so now we've made it to that 45-minute remaining mark. So now basically it's just all sort of gravy at this point. Let's go ahead and push, and just continue to push with car 2, but push with car 1. All right, in fact, let's go ahead and make our pit stop, our final stop with Petra at this point. And we'll go tire choice of hard tires. Once again, fill it up, and we'll stay on the blue mode for now, but at some point we'll definitely be able to move up to the yellow mode in this last stint. But at this point I really don't see much of a reason to do it. Okay, where are we with car 1? Alright, there we go. We'll come in next time by, and we'll put Hannah back in the car. So 38 minutes, and I'm going to keep it down on the blue mode because there's really no reason not to. We don't need the speed. Alright, so now we've got Petra back in the car. We're going to allow her to push. But we'll not be pushing a whole lot with car 1. Alright, so we've made our final stop. These guys are going to try to make it, I think, to the end. I'm not sure they're going to be able to. Obviously, the soft tires are not. But we'll see. Okay, let's go back to neutral. So now, essentially what we need is just no driver mistakes. Just be smooth and we'll ride this one out. At this point, I'm more interested to see how these medium tires do for third and fourth and see if they're able to make it to the end. Alright, I'm going to have Petra go ahead and push some. Might as well see what we can get out of her car for speed. She's not going to catch car number 1 for the lead, but just in case those medium tires do make it to the end, which I'm beginning to think they have a great shot of doing, I want to make sure that we've got plenty of lead because I really would like to come home first and second if at all possible. So I have to give credit to the AI here for, let's see, our championship competitor. That's their first car. It's actually car number 2 for them, not the car that generally does better. And then there's car number, their normal car number 1 and strongest car. So they've gotten the strategy where they've tried to get all the speed out of their car they could in order to catch us, but it's just not happening. 13 minutes to go in the race. And, oh, there we go. Pit stops for new tires. So I would assume, yeah, they're going to put on the soft tires and just go for broke here. And wow, you can almost just see the tire wear coming off of this car. Alright, now under 10 minutes remaining. The final pit stop for on those medium tires. So now they're all on the soft tire, but of course they have no way of catching us. And so we're just going to ride out this last 7 minutes. And it feels so nice to be able to come to the final race with double points and not have to worry about points. Okay, so we got, you can see some condition issues that are starting to creep up, but those start to pop up, I think, at 25%, or is it 30%? Okay, it's at 30% because there's the brake package is just under that. Couldn't remember where I had that configured to show up. All right, here we go. Final minute. So we've got time for, I believe, actually, this is going to be the final lap. Yeah, there we go. So as we cross the finish line, oh, wait. Yeah, we go. There's a little delayed there in showing that we crossed the line. So we will bring home, once again, the 1-2 finish, and this time we did it in about as convincing a fashion as you could imagine. A huge victory for us. We were getting close to trying to put everybody a lap down. All right, so scrutineering, once again, not an issue for us. Wow, that is huge. That is a great comeback after our performance here last season. And there we go. In very convincing fashion, we bring home 1-2 in the driver championship. And of course, a monstrous victory in the team championship. We almost doubled up their points. Almost. So let's go ahead and work our way through these final screens. And we got some nice screens to see. These are the types of screens you want to see here at the very end. Okay, we'll go ahead and work through some of this. So morale issues there. We know the traits we've got there are for the driver championship. And then, of course, Tang just refuses to be happy. He finished second. I mean, this is not the type of driver with the skills that you would ever think would have that opportunity, but he's just destined to be mad about everything. So we'll lose about $1.6 million. Again, that's perfectly fine. We still have about 2.7 remaining. And there we go. Here is what I was looking for. So the driver championship will bring home, we had 7 race wins, and we're on the podium for 9 of the 10 races. Very nice indeed. And most importantly, no DNFs. Okay, and then of course, the one thing that gets us up to Class A, the team championship. So we're going to get the prize money of $22.6 million. And this is very nice. This is what we've been working toward. So now the hard work starts all over again for us in A class. This is very nice for us. This is huge. Okay, so that's going to bring us back to the main menu. So we finally get that championship in Class B and have our opportunity to move up to Class A. But we'll start going through a lot of the Class A type stuff in our next video. Who knows? It might be a much longer video than normal because we got a lot to think about moving our way up to Class A. So that'll do it for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more as we continue our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager.